بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ومن اهتدى بسنته إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. Inshallah, I want to share a hadith with you all, inshallah. It reminded me of this hadith. I was having conversation with my sheikh that how immodesty is so prevalent these days. The hadith collected in Bukhari and Muslim, what is reported from Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله كتب على ابن آدم حظه من الزنا أدرك ذلك لا محالة. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wrote for every child of Adam a pre-portioned, a preordained amount of immodesty. أدرك ذلك لا محالة. He will get that portion no matter what. No doubt about it. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam continues, فَزِنَ الْعَيْنَيْنِ النَّظَرِ وَزِنَ اللِّسَانِ النُّطْقِ وَالنَّفْسُ تَمَنَّى وَتَشْتَهِي وَالْفَرْجُ يُصَدِّقُ ذَلِكَ وَيُكَذِّبُهُ. The immodesty of the eyes is to look. The immodesty of the tongue is to say bad speech, foul speech, filthy speech. وَالنَّفْسُ تَمَنَّى وَتَشْتَهِي. And the soul desires it, wants it extremely, very, very much. وَالْفَرْجُ يُصَدِّقُ ذَلِكَ أَوْ يُكَذِّبُهُ. And the private part, they either accepts it or they deny it. Really deep hadith. And there are many benefits that we can take from this hadith. And firstly, we can see that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam already clearly tells, in this hadith that there are forms of immodesty which is easier to avoid, and there are form of immodesty which is harder. It's a struggle for every single one of us. And we overlook it. But believe it or not, it affects our nafs, it affects our soul, it affects our connection, our sila, our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And for example, this hadith clearly tells us that there is immodesty which is easier to avoid. For us living over here, it is easier for us to avoid pork. We can find halal food, so many places, stores that we can find halal food. And this wasn't the same thing in the back in the day. But nowadays, for example, when we open our phone, we are, welcomed with, haram ads. This is a form of immodesty. And when we walk down in the street, we see immodesty. When we talk immodesty, saying foul speech. So this is a struggle for every single one of us. And then, because many people think that immodesty is haram relationship. But Rasulullah clearly tells us that immodesty is connected to every single body part. Our hands can do immodesty. Our feet can do immodesty, going to haram places. Our mind can do immodesty, thinking of haram things. Our tongue can do immodesty by saying haram things. And our private parts, that's the ultimate amount, which is either you confirms it, meaning all those immodesty leading up to the highest amount, either accepts it or rejects it. Subhanallah. This is really deep, ya ikhwan. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in another hadith, مَنْ يَضْمَنُ لِي مَا بَيْنَ لَحْيَيْهِ وَمَا بَيْنَ رِجْلَيْهِ يَضْمَنُ لَهُ الْجَنَّةِ. Whoever guarantees for me whatever is between his tongue, his cheeks, which is the tongue, because tongue can lead you to so many haram. And what is in between his legs, I guarantee for him Jannah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam telling us that this is a struggle. He is telling us that he understands that this is a struggle. But how are we supposed to fight it? That is up to us. Every single person is in his own struggle. Every single person deals with his own struggles. And just like the Sahaba, radiallahu ta'ala alayhim ajma'in, they had their own struggles. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells us that if you fight it, guarantee for him Jannah. Jannah is guaranteed for him. Because this is a daily struggle that every single one of us have to deal with. Like Imam Shafi'i, rahimahullah, complete to his teacher. That he has weak hifz, his memory is weak. From what? By looking at, immodesty. Just the ankle of the opposite gender, subhanAllah, and that made his hifd weak. So just imagine what is open to us nowadays, which is affecting our memory, affecting our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, affecting our prayers with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, affecting our relationship with other people, all connected to this small thing for us, which is very small, immodesty. But subhanAllah, we don't know how far it takes us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to stay away from immodesty. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to have strong connection with Him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to have strong connection to Him through prayers, through salawat, through dhikr. بارك الله لنا ولكم في القرآن العظيم وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.